Hi, I'm Dawn, and this is where Shabby meets Bling. I have gathered together a bunch of my friends who are fellow creators to put together this fabulous Creators Christmas Open House playlist just for you. So please make sure to watch. The link is in the description box below. Let's make a bakery case. While out thrifting, I came across this printer's tray. And it's old and it is pretty damaged, pretty well damaged, but I got it for $1.50 and can't go wrong. So I am going to add a little glue to it and clamp it, and I think she'll be just dandy for my purposes. Earlier in the year, if you remember, I came across all these fabulous cake decorating finds. And I made the bakery tables out of these little guys. And I am going to now use some of these lovely little nuggets for legs, because I am making a table, a big farm table. Now that my tray is dry and firmer than it was, I am going to take some of those cake decorating finds. You can see I'm using the smaller ones, which I've already painted flat black to look like wrought iron. And I'm using my B7000 to glue them to the edge of every corner of my little tray, because when we flip it over, it will look like one of those big fancy farmhouse tables. But mini, it's gonna be mini. Has to be in the cafe, right? I also used the cake decorating doodads, the large columns, and some little wood discs to create the stools that I used in Chili's Gingerbread Bakery and Cafe. I simply cut the columns in half, and then I painted the columns black and the tops of the little seats that beautiful crimson red. That beautiful gingerbread stained glass window has been installed in the cafe, and you will see that shortly. When I was out thrifting, that one time when I went thrifting, I came across this little mail caddy for on your desk, and to me, this thing screamed bakery case. This is going to become a bakery case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble Stephanie. I'm going to take it apart. It is not a great piece. It is wood, but it is cracked in many places and is not attractive anyway. So I am doing it a service. I am helping this little thing out to become a bigger, better piece of little furniture. Really, the only thing that is bakery case-esque about this piece is the slant. When you go into bakeries or delis, you have that beautiful slanted case that you look through the glass and see all the fabulous items inside. Well, that's what I'm going to attempt to do. And I've taken most of it apart, but I have to cut holes in it for the front so you can see through the front. And I also have to cut a nice hole in the back so that whoever is waiting on you can reach inside the bakery case and get you your fabulous baked good. I have used my ruler to create straight lines where I'm going to use my jigsaw to cut my openings. I've done it in the front and I've done it in the back. And now the inside, I don't know if you saw me remove the divider inside. I have to take the little side panels off that were internal, because that piece is going to become my shelf in my bakery case. And now to the jigsaw. Well, the jigsaw came to me. I'm working in the house. It's cold outside. I'm going to cut all the pieces I need to so I can get to this point. A big old mess. It is a big old mess. I think I had like 15 pieces, separate pieces here. Now comes the fun part. Sanding, painting. Yes, that really is the fun part. And reassembling. So it's going to be tricky, but we're going to do it. because Chili's has a definite decor color and kind of theme set, we need to stick to that. So I am going to use 2 colors I've used on other pieces. I'm going to use celery for the interior, and I'm going to use sage for the exterior. That way we will blend beautiful and coordinate fabulously with the rest of the furnishings in the cafe. Once my interior paint was dry, I clamped it and bungee corded it because it was the only way to make this happen. And then once this dried, I glued and clamped. No clamps, I should say. I glued and taped the rest of it together because angles are pretty darn hard to clamp. These 2 thrifted frames will become part of the glass components of the bakery case. These credit card cases will be disassembled and used as baking sheets inside my bakery case. Cinnamon buns, anyone? Our bakery case cannot be empty, so we need to make some yummy treats to put inside. So I have cut a little slightly angled piece of cardboard, and I'm going to trace it onto this piece of beautiful caramel foam, and I am going to create gingerbread cinnabuns. Am I allowed to say? I don't know if I am. Cinnamon rolls. So I am just going to trace these, and I'm going to use up as much of the foam as I can because I want to make a bunch. I'm going to make at least 3 dozen, maybe 3 baker's dozens of these wonderful little cinnamon rolls. Once I have my strips cut, I'm going to use hot glue, and I am going to roll them up so they are a little bit higher in the center. I'm starting the roll at the tallest part of my foam, and I'm curling down to the shortest part of my foam, if that makes sense to you. Kind of like, you know, when a cinnamon roll is in the oven and it raises in the middle? That's what we're after. Roll, 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 and take a look at that. You got a cinnamon roll. And now we're gonna paint it so it looks more gingerbread-esque. Gingerbread-like. I am using my 2 different colors of plaid paint again because I love this combo to create my gingerbread color. And I am gonna paint each and every teeny tiny little cinnamon roll. What's the best thing about a cinnamon roll? Of course, the glaze. Yum. So I'm going to recreate the glaze by using my white dimensional paint and a toothpick. And before I put on my white dimensional paint, I put a little tiny glob of my gingerbread colored paint on there first. So that way, as I'm frosting my little cinnamon roll, it's going to have a little bit of a cinnamon swirl to it. And that's how it's done. That's how it's done. Let's whip up some reindeer food. We are going to change gears here a bit. We've got some treats in action for snow people and maybe Santa Claus. But how about the reindeer? You know, a lot of people are going to be arriving by sleigh. It is a Christmas open house. So we are going to create some food for the reindeer. I am starting by making the little burlap bags that our deer feed will go into. And I'm using burlap from burlapfabric.com. The discount code still applies. SHABBYMEETSBLING. Check them out. You'll be glad you did. They've got great products. The link and the discount code will be in the description box. What I've done is I've created, just out of cardboard, a little template that I'm going to be using to make all of my little bags uniform. So they're all the same, like Santa's elves made them themselves. Woohoo. I rhymed. This is the adorable image I will be using. It is a Traci Vanover Design, And once again, I'll put the link in the description box, and so that way you can check out her stuff. I love this image. I love it, love it. And I'm gonna do a little something different because I don't have the printable transfers, to iron on things. So I'm just gonna use my handy dandy Ultra Bond. Ultra Bond. It serves me well. And I have used it with paper before, and it really works well. You shall see. So I'm lining everything up nicely, and I am going to apply the Ultra Bond, heat and bond, to the back of my paper. Now I'm just going to cut them out. I am going to make 8 little tiny reindeer bags, reindeer food bags. And once I cut them out, I will iron them on to my burlap sheets. And I will make sure that I'm as close to possible to lining them up from one feed bag to the next, to the next, to the next. So they're uniform, like coming out of an elf factory. You know how those elves are super precise, super precise. And now to protect our image. And I am using a gloss Mod here because I want it to look like it had like a piece of, I don't want to say plastic, but you know what I'm saying, applied onto a real burlap bag. So I want it to have some sheen to it. So that's why I'm using my glacé Amage Page. I ironed myself some seams, folded over, pinned it together, and now I'm just going to real quick stitch them all in place and create that little feed bag. No fuss, no muss, quick as lightning. See me go, look at me go. I'm so fast. I took that same adorable image and I sized it down a little smaller to go on these cute little containers, because what if you don't want to buy a 5-pound bag of reindeer food? You need something smaller. I am going to decorate the top of my lid with these little embossed stickers, Christmas stickers that you put on Christmas cards or whatever the heck you want to use them for. I'm using the same exact green I used on the exterior of the bakery case. Neither our feed bags nor our little containers are going to be empty because I picked up these mulling bags and mulling spices made to be used for mulled wine. So our little items are going to be utilitarian as well, and you can use them as ornaments or as gifts or both. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to divide out in a little 1/4 cup of the mulling spice, and I'm going to add it to my mulling spice bags. Now keep in mind, the little containers will not get the mulling bag because of the tiny. It's going to be almost like a refill for it. So they both will get these lovely spices, and then I will use this twine and this little find from Hobby Lobby post-harvest fall sale as embellishment in my reindeer feed display. I will be using this Dollar Tree little reindeer, and I've enhanced that image, the original image from the bag, a little more for our sign. There will also be a sled involved. And evidently this thing is worth a little bit if you collect Longaberger, which I did back in the day. So I still have a ton of it, but I got this resale at the Goodwill for mere pennies on the dollar. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. They probably didn't even realize what it was because usually it goes for a much higher amount than a couple bucks. One of the other very few times that I've gone resale shopping, I found this little cutie pie at a thrift shop here in town. And I'm going to use this to be the stand for a hot cocoa bar. A hot cocoa bar needs a sign. I found this cute little thing, which I will cut up and enhance at Hobby Lobby. This little teapot, it will get painted. And this is part of something else you're going to see in a minute. This little 25-cent crate will hold these candy canes, condiments for your hot cocoa, you know. These wood rounds off of bottle brush trees will become little tiny gingerbread cakes. This is going to be a wedding cake because little snow people get married, you know, and they want a gingerbread cake. That's going to be the stand for our wedding cake. And these little Hobby Lobby clearance nutcrackers are going to become chocolate, miraculously. Chocolate. I will first paint my little tree, my gingerbread paint color, and then I will enhance it. As you can see, I have already glued my wood rounds together, and they are going to become a layer cake, each and every one of them, and I will paint them with my gingerbread paint as well. And they will also be enhanced. Of course they will. You can't have a gingerbread bakery without having some gingerbread houses. So I found this birdhouse resale, and the other one came from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to transform them from birdhouse to house. I simply removed the little stands where the birdies would stand, and I cut some cardboard pieces, and I'm going to wood glue them and insert them in, and I'm gonna paint these little now gingerbread houses. Here are some other little items you're gonna see transformed in the cafe. This little plant stand, resale. This little tiered tray, resale. This was from Goodwill. This little gifted candlestick, little glass bottles, also Goodwill. I'm gonna use some tea lids, recyclable tea lids, to make into like a little candy jar with a top on it. These 66% off half ornaments from Hobby Lobby will become cake domes with the help of these grommets and decorative tacks. Chili is done decorating and baking. He is ready for his first annual Christmas open house. You are all invited. Let's go. You may remember this. I transformed this into a gingerbread stained glass window. Let's take a look at it. It has been installed in Chili's Gingerbread Bakery and Cafe, and you could even see the daylight shining through from behind. How beautiful. And I used the window box for display. Cookies for Santa, anyone? Or how about a chocolate nutcracker? Let's see what it looks like at night. Oh my goodness, how beautiful. The street lights are shining through, and you can see all the bright colors, that beautiful red and green. So lovely, so festive. And what a fabulous backdrop it will be for our wonderful, not so brand new bakery case. So from beat up letter caddy to adorable little bakery case. Let's take a look at the back side of the case where you would be serving your customers. And inside are those fabulous trays that we made from credit card cases. But they look like little bakery trays, do they not? And there's our Cinnabons. And you remember those cookies? Yes, those little gingerbread star and tree cookies I made during one of my other videos. I'll leave the link below. And there's one of our cakes. And you could see that the window actually moves in the front. It lowers and it raises. For cleaning purposes, you know, we've got to be nice and tidy. It's a bakery. But there's a good look at some cookies that were made. Chili's been so busy, so busy. So here's our window up, and here's our window down. So smooth and slick. And tucked way back in the corner of the cafe is the hot cocoa bar. Hot cocoa steaming with candy canes ready to be added if you choose. Plenty of cups ready for our fabulous open house. The sign I added dimension to. I removed the drawers for extra cup storage. Chili did not forget those reindeer. There's our reindeer feed bags. How cute. And to think they really are ornaments as well as gifts. Give a gift to a friend that likes wine. Fabulous. And there, some samples, free samples for the reindeer and the mini canisters in case you don't want a 5-pound bag, in case you have a baby reindeer. How cute. And the sled. And a simple little item from the Dollar Tree in a beautiful image becomes a sign. And here's our table, all ready for guests. Check out the cake domes. Oh, didn't they turn out cute? And our Cinnabons. Making me hungry. Our pies, and there is the beautiful wedding cake that Chili has made for the happy couple. Getting married at Christmas time, how lovely. And you get a really nice look at the entire store. What a beautiful little cafe. There's another one of our cakes. And there's the jar, one of our candy jars that we made with a little lid. Same lid as on the domes. And how about our transformed tiered serving tray with that little candlestick becoming its base? And our plant stand highlighting some very Christmas plants. Make sure to watch the entire Creators Christmas Open House playlist. You'll be glad you did. Give them some likes and some love and tell them Dawn sent you. You'll find the link in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, share it with your family, your friends, and anybody that loves Christmas, Christmas decor, and teeny tiny little fun things. You can follow me on Instagram and check out my shop on Etsy. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe. That's the way you can show your support of this channel. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.